welcome listeners to our 42nd show. We're happy to have you join us tonight. Due to some technical difficulty, we lost about the first 5 minutes of the podcast. We're going to be continuing in stream after we get rid of the audio difficulties. I am your host, Scrivean. I'm joined tonight by Diemos and Harper from the Tempest Gaming Community. We look forward to having a great show, and we'll hope you enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So, Diemos, back to Guild Wars 2. What did you do this week?
Well, yeah, a lot of Guild Wars 2. Busy. And I did a few hours of Defiance, and that was about it.
Did you? And was it better?
Well, at least I got to
without breaking the NDA?
Yeah. I mean, at least I got to play it, but it's
not for you?
Me. No.
Yeah, I don't think
disappointing.
It's for me either.
Yeah.
I know you can't be specific, but is it the whole genre of it, or just the way it plays? Can you say?
No, I love the shooter thing, but like I've said in the forums when talking about Firefall, coming from Firefall, because they're both pretty much the same type of game. Coming from Firefall, it's just way too slow and clunky.
Yeah, so I had a quick question about Firefall. Now, when I look at it, and I didn't realize it had that cartoony look to it. Is it like Borderlands style, kind of? No? Yeah, no?
See, I've never played Borderlands. If you saw a screenshot of both games, I would think so. But like I said, when you get in the game and start playing it, it doesn't look as cartoony. And I think a lot of those screenshots that a lot of people see are actually older, because it doesn't look as cartoony. It still does have that element to it, but yeah, it's not as bad.
Okay. Cool. I like Harper. Well, I like her, but I like Harper. Played Neverwinter for almost the entire week. That was my gaming all weekend. As I didn't play WoW. Didn't do any Valor this week. I played Neverwinter through the entire beta. Had fun. Got my Guardian Fighter up to 30 and got my Priest up to 20, and so it was pretty good. So I want to try stuff out. I didn't try the Rogue, but I will next time, and then whichever other class probably as well.
Yeah, I played her to 7.
Yeah,
a lot of DPS.
So cool. Well, with all of that, let's jump into gaming industry news. And here are your hosts with news from the games we love. Guild Wars 2.
Alright, with Guild Wars 2, they'll be doing their first server maintenance on February the 13th. That's Wednesday. It's early morning. The client, the forums, the website, and the gym store will not be available from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. PST. Everything is cut down.
Are they replacing the servers or upgrading them or something?
I have no idea. They just say.
Is that when they're going to be the transfers and all that, the pay transfers? Are going to go?
No, they've already had pay transfers. What do you mean?
I mean, are they like doing some changes to that? Like, tweaking it?
I have no idea. They just announced that earlier in the week. They just said server maintenance. I mean, this is the first time they've actually been put down, so I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe it's prerequisite stuff for the next patch. I don't know. Anyway, ArenaNet will not be resetting the World v World rankings. That's based off of the strong community response from it and their data on current matchups since paid transfers began. So I guess a lot of people are pretty happy where they're at, and they don't want the reset. So I don't.
How does it make Yaxbin line up?
Yaxbin still is up there towards the top 10. I think we're sitting at 12 right now. We're fighting basically the same bracket again this week, and we're dominating. We came in with a good strategy off of Yaxbin.com, and we've been fighting it out at night, late night, because Crystal Desert right now we're fighting them. We fought them last week, and they destroyed us. So I guess they have some kind of team that's dedicated to playing at night this week or something. I don't know. So, cool. On February 26th, players will see the second update to Flame and Frost, the Living World content. Aside from the storyline progression for that, we'll see the other additions, which is a new PvP map. Seems to have like a capture the flag objective to it on top of Conquest, it seems. And then guild missions. They said it's kind of going to be like the daily or monthly system, but guilds will be able to go and do missions together. They said something about bounties and puzzles and other group challenges. A new currency called guild merits, and I guess they'll have a whole other reward system with that.
That's kind of cool, though. Awesome. You guys get to work on like goals and stuff together.
Absolutely, yeah, and hopefully they got achievements tied into that too and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will. They're good about that.
Oh yeah, rated team play matches in SPVP. From what I understand, we're going to be able to set up 2v2 matches, and that'll help us out a lot to help people learn the environment better and stuff. And then we'll get to also choose our own daily achievements with this patch. So that's very cool because I know what I'm picking. Unfortunately, all the media sites blew it out of proportion, but unfortunately the World v World revamp and progression systems won't make it for this update. They said that it should be available as early as March. So, yep.
Oh, okay. Well, and WoW, we've got Harper and I both have news for this week. Patch 5.2, which is going to be a huge upgrade for the World of Warcraft. It's moving closer to being ready to ready with the raid and everything. They've got their release schedule now. MMO Champions had it up this week, and basically they're opening it up in phases. There are 4 wings, so they're opening up in phases over all the weekends, with the last open date being, I think, the 20th of February. The loot lists for the Throne of Thunder are now out and available on MMO Champion as well. Blizzard announced this week that 5.2 is launched. There will be a 10% decrease, basically a debuff of the raid bosses, of their damage and their health. That'll hit when 5.2 hits. Now, to reward the guilds that have already cleared the bosses on normal, and hopefully we'll be one of those guilds as well.
Yeah.
What they're going to do is they're going to make it a feat of strength.
Awesome.
For clearing it normal.
Feats of strength are awesome.
So it's before, so you get credits. You can sit there and say, hey, I did it before they nerfed it or whatever. So hopefully we'll be able to get through and do that. Of course, if Greer's listening, Kex,
which he is,
and Kex and Big and I were kind of brainstorming last night. We're thinking we need to probably get somebody to pug into, if they can, pug into one of the other raiding guilds, just to get run through Heart of Fear, just in case. I think the rule is on Terrace of Endless Spring, if the raid leader has completed the raid, Heart of Fear, then you can actually go into Terrace of Endless. You can take the raid into Terrace of Endless Spring.
No way.
So, I think that's, I read that, or I heard it on another podcast, or it might have been Convert to Raider or one of those guys. So we might have to have Greer pug into a Heart of Fear one of these weeks and get us in, so we can go in there, because Heart of Fear is supposed to be easier than Terrace or something like that. So that'd be kind of cool. Some of the other things that they're doing is I know Harper's going to talk about the Valor and Justice gear revamp, and what they're doing with that is that the Valor gear is going to be reduced down to 75 or 50% of its current cost. But of course, to prevent people from hoarding their Valor, what's going to happen in 5.2, like normal, Conquest turns into Honor, Valor turns into Justice. So yes, even though your chest piece, which was $22.50, is going to go down to probably, I think it's $11.25, you're going to have to earn that $11.25. It's still going to take you, it's basically going to take you a couple more. You're not going to gain that much by hoarding the 3K Valor that you can do. So you're still going to be delayed and have to re-earn it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I also know that they said one thing is the dailies and the quests and the other stuff on the Isle of the Thunder King are going to be kind of phased. Think of Encourage or Blood Mist. It's a server-wide effort to push the content on the Isle. So both sides not working together necessarily, but working towards common goals, whether it's gathering mats or whatever we have to do. And the more we do, the faster it'll open up more content for us on the island. So
cool.
What do you got, Harper?
They made some more changes to the charm system. Last week, a couple of podcasts and just, all of us talking, we're talking about the lesser coins or lesser charms. And so what's going to happen is you will no longer have to use the lesser charms to purchase the elder charms. And they're actually going to be drops off of bosses. You will use your lesser charms to buy the new ones, and there'll be the Mogu Runes of Fate is what you will be buying with your lesser charms. So a lot of people were like, so I can either buy the Elder Charms or the Mogu Charms. No, you cannot do that. You actually will only be able to buy the Mogu Charms for the 5.2.
They're increasing the amount that you can hold, I believe, as well, right?
That I did not read, but I think I'd heard that.
It's currently 10, but I thought they were going up to like 100 or something.
Yeah. So, anyways, that kind of nips that whole question about what we're going to do. So they're actually going to drop off of raid bosses and things, or I don't know. Hang on. That's one thing I wanted to reread because I think it's just going to be off of killing things in the raid zone or killing enemies and world bosses in the raid zones and the world bosses.
You mean the charms are going to drop?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the daily quests, the valor charms associated with daily quests and that kind of stuff are going out. Now I know one of the other ways they're doing is pet battles are also. If you do daily pet battles, the daily quests in there, they have a chance to drop the charms as well.
Yeah, they're also going to give you money for valor justice conversion. So, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. So you'll be refunded 40 silver per point. Is what they're saying it'll come down to.
It's going to make me rush out and cap right now.
Yeah, and then the PvP you'll basically get 35 silver per point is what it kind of boils down to. So they're making some interesting changes. It'll be good to see what's going on. And also Greer just said Blue Blog, easy for me to say, posted a lesser charms will turn into so just like what I said.
Lesser charms will turn into what? Oh, into the throne.
Just basically what I just repeated. He typed in.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks,
Neverwinter from Cryptic Studios had their first open beta weekend this weekend. Basically, if you bought the $60 or the $200 founder packs or guardian packs, then you're guaranteed to get into the betas from that point on. There was about 7 or 8 of us who bought the pack. Most of us, we played through and we went to various levels and stuff. There were only 3 of the 5 launch classes available, and it's kind of preset on what the classes are. So instead of like the traditional Dungeons and Dragons, and this is a complaint that is in the forums, unlike traditional Dungeons and Dragons where you get to form the kind of rogue or wizard or fighter or cleric or thing that you want, they're kind of preset and they kind of guide you. Now you do have the ability to go, like I was a guardian fighter, and I went tank, defense, tank, armor, health. There is a way to go up where you're doing mostly DPS instead of this. I mean, so you get a little bit of flexibility.
It reminded me of the original trees from WoW. It looked different,
way back,
but it's where you put the points in to get to the next thing and to get to the next thing to get to that tree. So it reminded me a lot of WoW's original.
Well, it's interesting that they did. I think they did their class reveal today was the cleric, the devout cleric, which we already played. We played in the beta.
Yeah, the devoted cleric.
So we had the devout cleric, the trickster rogue, and the guardian fighter. The 2 classes that weren't available were the control wizard and the
fighter.
The fighter. It's a DPS fighter, 2-handed, barbarian is what I think. 2-handed axe, 2-handed sword, that kind of stuff. So they had that this weekend. They'll be added in later betas. The crafting system was not in place, not testable yet. You could gather crafting mats, which is cool. And as far as I know, we haven't read anywhere that they're not going to wipe between the betas, so you can continue to experience. And one of the goals that they wanted everyone to do is to be able to experience the content from 1 to 30, and knowing the different playstyles and casualness of players, etc., and those kinds of things. They actually had they increased for the beta weekend. I just read today to make sure that they increased the XP gain to leveling by about 4 times. So it was about 4 times as fast as it would be. That's why. You could level. We saw players on the first day who were level 29, 30. They won't be that way. And once it goes live, the leveling curve will be about a quarter of what it is now. So, at one point I got 10,000 experience for a quest and actually jumped 2 levels just because of where it fell with what I had. That won't happen when it goes live.
I wonder if it's going to seem real grindy at that point. I don't think so, though, because it was really sped up, and you could tell it was.
So. One of the other things that was not in this beta, which hopefully will come later, is the Foundry, which is something that they used in Cryptic has used in Star Trek Online. I don't know if they use it in Champions or not. I think they did. It's basically player-made content. I mean, you can run and design a campaign. A set of stuff. You can't do dungeons right now, but you can basically set up all these little quests that you do. Players are going to be able to create quests and stories and stuff and that, and then you just post them. You put them in the game, and you go to this message board looking thing, this board, for hire, mercenary for hire kind of board, and you just look at them. And now what happens is when players do those quests, they rank them 1 to 5 stars, and the better the ranking, the higher they're going to go on the list. The lower the ranking, if they suck really bad, no one's going to play them. They drop off, or if people are like griefing in there by doing stupid things, then that'll drop off. But that's one of the things I think they're counting on is the player-made content, which kind of lends to I'm curious to see what they're going to do. There was an article on Massively today, and they kind of started talking a little bit about Sony, and that's what they said, or Sony has alluded to for EverQuest Next as well, of being heavy on player-made content. And on Game Breaker TV, when they talked about this, they said, well, maybe they're ready to get EverQuest Next out so fast after trashing it and restarting over again, because they've decided that they're going to build the framework and provide the tools and let the players develop the content. Which is
well, they keep talking about it's the rise of the sandbox coming again.
Yeah. And
I really think
players can do that.
And I think developers are at a point now. You talk about locust gamers consuming content faster than a developer can make, and they're hoping that maybe player-driven content will, overcome that.
Well, yeah, think about if you had even WoW with now 9.6 million subscribers. If only half of them or a third of them were putting content in the game, the only thing we don't know is the content go across all servers? Is it only your server? Is it being screened by Cryptic, or how is all of that working? But still, take 10% of the WoW community providing, and you've got 960,000 players creating content. That does take a load off the developers. Of course, they have to keep the tools up to date, and the better tools you give the players, the better quality is going to be there.
Exactly.
The longer the game's going to last. So if you give them crap tools, then
nobody's going to do it.
Yeah, no one's going to do it. But if you give it easy to use tools where you can create beautiful content with stories, you're letting the players drive the game, and all you got to do is keep it running, and then provide your content updates when you're ready. A little less stress. So how about Firefall?
All right, so Firefall did their little live stream on Friday, and they posted a blog about it afterwards. And they kind of discussed their Q1 2013 milestones. Some of the highlights were matchmaking systems for their PvP, the instance PvP stuff. They're also going to try to bring online a new objective to the PvP game type, additional open world content, sort of like adjustments to how the Chosen interact with the world and how much damage they do, etc. They're also going to be doing some pretty big adjustment changes to the progression system through your battle frames and stuff like that, and a new crafting system that they say is going to be easier to use with more depth to bring resources and crafting to the forefront of Firewall. They basically want to make a game that is very dependent on crafting for PvE at least.
Good.
Yep.
Now in SWTOR, one of the things I was reading today is that I've known over the last couple of days, patch 1.7 is hitting tomorrow, 7th content upgrade that they've done since launch. Now they're just over a year and a quarter old. And what they're doing is finally, well, I shouldn't say finally, I think they've tried a few times. They're doing something new on Ilum. There's a new limited event that's going to go from now until the 26th of February. Yeah, to the 26th of February, called the Relic of the Gree. Basically, the Gree are this alien race. If you play SWTOR, you're familiar with them. If you don't, it's just another alien race. Don't worry about it. This Gree ship called the Grey Secant crashes, or doesn't crash. It crashes on Ilum, or is hovering in Ilum doing some stuff there. But I think it crashes, and it crashes on the Western Shelf. Now, if you remember the map, the Western Shelf, that whole open area, was the open world PvP area. Now, what's happened is the ship has hit and destroyed the Imperial base.
You mean that slideshow?
And the Republic base has become abandoned. And then both bases have set up base camps now closer to where the Gree ship is, because the Gree are advanced technology. I think they're associated with the Hypergate, the outer areas of Star Wars. So they have this new and advanced technology. Players are going to be able to go in there. There's going to be PvP. There are PvP missions or PvE missions. There's a new world boss in there that's only going to be there for the event. Now, the event is only going on from tomorrow through the 29th, I believe, so just over 2 weeks. But they said it'll be back in periodically, because the Gree are coming through. Basically, they're collecting some kind of resource or something or other in here. That's the story is along those lines. players by doing this stuff will be able to earn new titles, new titles, weapons, armor skins, and a bunch of other stuff that you get out of there, some mounts and pets. And so it's that kind of a thing. So it's kind of cool that you're doing this. Now, along with this is they're adding in a reputation system, which Star Wars hasn't had before, or SWTOR hasn't had before. And so it's kind of a wartime footing stuff. And you'll be able to earn, in this new reputation system, you're going to earn titles through, it'll be in their legacy-wide. That's a good thing. So if you earn it on one character, every character gets the benefits out of it, tied to the legacy system. But you'll earn your stuff by doing certain heroic instances, like the instances on Voss, heroic operations, and space missions, and each of those have different types of rewards, but it goes into your reputation. There are 6 or 7 levels of reputation that you get as you earn all your way up, and then once you become a legend or a hero of that race, then you are the hero of the race. You gain all kinds of benefits, and all your characters do. So it's kind of a cool new system they've tied in. It's the ever-increasing part of the legacy that they've added. So just something interesting to check out for those who are trying it. It's free to play, so you can go in there and check it out.
Woohoo, reputation grinding.
Your favorite, Dimos.
Yeah. Well, I guess it sure is.
Nothing good. The rewards. Do you
guys have any more news?
What's that?
Any more news? Any other games last minute? Hopped in here? I have something snuck in. Okay. I got a quick message. We'll jump into the news. Okay, I just want to bring up a quick thing again. PayPal. We got PayPal set up. It's in the upper right of the homepage there. PayPal, the account that we use for the Tempest Game Community, supports the home website, the TGC website, TeamSpeak Player of the Month giveaways. It helps do that. You see the award, the Team Player Awards, right there on the top of the screen. The Tempest T, Lightning T, Green Award. It shows you what the donate button does. You can donate anything you want. We've had a number of players, plenty of players do that. We've got our big expense coming up is our annual cost of paying for the TeamSpeak. It's about $145 for a 50-person server. We're looking at the numbers to see if that's justified. We may drop that down, which will reduce the cost a little bit. Again, due to the Secret World contest, we don't have to pay the homepage fee, so that's kind of taken care of. But we do have a big expense coming up, so if you got time, you want to, feel like giving, click the button. Mid-May.
Okay.
For TeamSpeak, yeah.
So please.
Yeah,
hit that button and get your
any
report.
little bit amount. It will help. That's no big deal. And like I said, the money's all accounted for. It's always reported to the leadership when we do our quarterly meetings and stuff like that. So it all goes towards the guild. Everything goes towards the guild. So let's get into it.
It goes to Harper's Purse Fund. Oh, wait. Are we recording?
I don't give Harper the password. She's told me how much she likes doing shopping, shoe shopping and clothes shopping, and she will never have the password.
You will never let me meet your wife ever.
She's going to have, she'd be wearing, I'm going to meet her, she's going to have, Tempest coffee mugs and Tempest t-shirts and all those other things that we had prototypes for. They're put away. All right, let's jump over into the news. Oh, never mind. We're not going to do the news. Let's do This Week in Tempest. Here are your hosts. Oh my God, I'm such a noob.
This Week
It's okay.
in Tempest.
How many hours of sleep have you had?
I'm getting a little. I don't know if I'm going to get any tonight before the movers come, so we'll see. Okay, This Week in Tempest. Let's go Guild Wars 2. And everyone's laughing at us too. I don't have my hat either. It's being packed.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Well, that's why we have so many problems today.
It is.
All right, so Guild Wars 2. A lot of members were pretty busy at the beginning part of this week, but we still had a lot of fun. We Tuesday night, there was a group that got formed up, and they took care of Citadel of Flame. They did 2 pass in one night. And then, we went, what was it, Thursday night, there was a handful of us that went out to World v. World to mess around out there for a little bit. And then Friday night was pretty big, kind of kicked off the whole weekend for us. Friday night, 4 of us actually got into a tournament PvP and finished second place. It was really good.
Nice.
We only had like one, we had one random pug in there, and he's one of those PvP players, those awesome PvP players that as long as you're doing awesome, it's awesome. Good job, guys. But the minute we lost that last match, it was a good game too, but that loss, he was like, oh my God, I hate y'all. Y'all are so noob. And it's like, dude, really? And so, Furchess actually got into a discussion with him and ended up reporting him because he just went crazy. But yeah, that was just. And by the way, he was a thief, so there you go. But anyway, so yeah, that was awesome. Considering we had some new people with us and stuff like that, so it was really good. Saturday and Sunday were just like crazy for dungeon running. Just back to back, 2 groups at once. Late night, Saturday night, I think Aki and Wolf put together a fractal group, and yeah, it was
very nice.
A lot of good dungeon runs. We saw returning players, Wolf and then Isaac. He popped in on Sunday, I think it was, and then
Isaac
also
Clark.
Yeah, Isaac Clark.
No way.
It's because he was snowed in. He couldn't get out of the house.
Yeah, I actually ran into him too. It was kind of funny, leveling out there too. But yeah, it was good to see him. So yeah, and then Cauldred, Critus, and Arwen, they usually can't make our scheduled stuff because I know for a fact Cauldred is West Coast, so West Coast is man, that 3-hour difference is huge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they got to participate in dungeon runs too this weekend, so it was good.
Oh wow, that's good.
Participate.
Yep. See, what you guys need to do for this whole, especially for the World v World and the structured PvP thing, is you need to work this out. So you got the East Coast time zone, you got the Pacific time zone. Now you need to pick up a Hawaii player. You need to pick up a military guy stationed in Japan, which I think we've got one.
Mm-hmm,
and then if you space it out right, it'll be like standing watch in the military. So it'll be like, okay, Diemos is the commander from 9 to midnight Eastern. Midnight Eastern is 9 Pacific. So Coldred takes over as the commander for that time, and just keep it going. It's like a 24-hour battle. You guys could like really dominate.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say since I'm not doing it. So
yeah,
I'm just saying.
But no, it was a busy week. We had a lot of fun, and I gotta say, man, I really enjoy seeing there's so many people on, and they just, everybody's just starting to really get in the mood of doing dungeons and just grouping up together, and it's really fun. A lot of times I don't even have to go anymore, and it's really cool. So, yeah. And then, oh yeah, of course, the big thing is Dark Wolf. He finished collecting his skill points, and he
right
on. That's awesome.
Yes,
badass looking sword.
Sword.
It is. It's pretty nice looking.
Yes.
Not as cool as the unicorn bow or the rainbow bow, but whatever. But hey.
Yes.
I know. I definitely want that one day.
Yeah.
Another time, another life, maybe.
Yeah.
I want it though.
World of Warcraft this week, we had schedule conflicts galore. It led to one single night of raiding for vodka and devil eggs. And so we basically went in and we downed, 9 bosses. I think, did we down everything? Right, we downed everything on... No, we just did Heart of Fear, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't
Never mind. I thought we ripped through our Mogishan. Okay, we did the first 3 bosses in Heart of Fear, and then we got the last boss, or the 4th boss down to about 30%. So I expect he'll probably drop this week.
Yeah,
we got him down.
In the killed column, I'm sure. Yeah.
And we get the fun one.
Yeah.
Shaper.
I don't think he's going to be as bad. Maybe he will. I don't know.
It's just mechanics.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how the healing's going to go with that too.
Oh, it's awesome. I'll be in there.
Yeah, it will be cool. It'll be pretty exciting. Yeah, the last boss that we were fighting, it was great. Every time we started combat, we got a little further. So it was great because we were doing really good, and then it just got too late. And so, but yeah,
Progress.
it was really, yeah. I was very proud of everybody. I thought we did really good. I think Greer was proud of us too. So, right, Greer, right? Yeah, a lot of people, like Scriv was saying, scheduling conflicts. There were some people on vacation that went out of town. Then some people that were playing the Neverwinter beta, but that didn't affect Thursday. Thursday just was kind of a wash because a few people couldn't be there that we really needed. And we returned to raiding on Tuesday night at full force. Right, Scriv? You're going to be there. Okay, that'll be your last one for a week.
I hope so, because they're packing everything out tomorrow. So my computer's all set up in this other room, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I noticed that the back
hardcore, man.
There's nothing.
Yeah, doesn't
back
it?
there.
It looks like I was going to say it. Look, this is me. I'm
Are you in a
broadcasting.
cell?
I didn't want you to know what I'm doing. This is my prison cell.
They let you have hats like that in prison?
My roommate is staying out of the scene right now for favors to be determined later.
Oh my God. Cigarettes, maybe. Get them back.
Yeah, cigarettes. That's it. Yeah. Okay.
That's what you're getting at, right?
Of course.
So yeah, we'll
I'll
return.
never run for office now. This video will show up. You know it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's the hat video. So anyways, we'll start back rating Tuesday night. And the Love is in the Air thing is going on in WoW. So I'm working hard to get my pink Strider. And
I can't remember if I want to do
Swift
that or
Strider.
not. There's a pet, right? Oh, Petalfoot. I have to figure out what I have to do to get him as a pet.
You may have him already. You should check and see.
Don't.
You don't have
because
him?
I never did.
You can buy him with tokens. So, I believe.
Yeah, I just got to figure out how many tokens I need then.
Yeah, I'm not positive, but yeah. So I want the pink Swift Strider, whatever it's called, Love Struck Strider or something. Chat room, help me out. You guys may know. But and then also I want the pink rocket that drops in the daily.
The Love Rocket.
The Love Rocket. I want that thing so bad.
The most sought after mount in WoW.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
did my. I did
Isn't that a 2-seater mount?
No, it's a 1-seater, and it has a zebra seat, and it's bright pink. It's so awesome. So
I did my. You're gonna like this for reputation time. So I got my 3rd character to finish my Order of the Cloud Serpent rep this week. So now I didn't have to pay 10,000 each for those dragons because I did a different color on 3 different characters.
Oh snap!
So I got all 3 Cloud Serpents for free.
Wow.
Well, a little bit of time. So, yeah.
Man, they don't have a pay to win option there, man.
In WoW? Not
Cash
yet.
out.
Not until everyone else has it. Can't do that. Can't do it till everyone else does it. So WoW's dying now. It's down to 9.6 million. It's dying.
Is it really? It's under 10 now, huh?
It's time to bail.
It's dying.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's leave. Oh, it's the Swift Lovebird. Thank you, Cirrhosis. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I want.
Lovebird.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Neverwinter. This was the big news of the week. Now, we can't go in too much into what we're doing because we certainly don't want to do it. I don't want to get banned, but my name is Kexa, if you are going to ban me. Okay, so...
And mine is big.
Yeah. And so I and Harper and about 7 other guildies jumped into the Neverwinter beta, which means, yes, we bought it. Now, the good thing is I know a number of guildies went in on a buddy pass to do the beta for the weekend and have since bought the $200 version. They're like, I'm playing this game. I love this game. It's awesome. It's fun. Okay, so we did the game. Now, the graphics are beautiful. I can't talk too much about it, of course. But the graphics are beautiful and the gameplay is fun.
People were streaming it though, so I mean...
Yeah, I know. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
But okay, whatever.
But go,
you agreed to an NDA?
Yeah, I did. I read through it to make sure, and I was looking. I was like, okay, well, I'm not... Because Harper had asked me if we were going to stream, and I read through the NDA, and it says you can't talk about this, and this. And I'm like, okay, talk about show intellectual... I mean, I didn't get in touch with the guild attorney, Big, and talk about what's intellectual property and stuff. So, but so I didn't.
Weird.
So I didn't stream it. But other people were streaming it. But I'm like, I don't want to take a chance of getting banned or whatever from a game that I actually enjoyed. Now the graphics are beautiful. The gameplay is fun. It is live combat. Now I think that the advantage and it was similar to Guild Wars 2 and Terra. They got an active dodge. They got an active block. They've got abilities you use. It's limited. There's only like a certain number on your screen. And I think it's 8 total abilities you have that you can use.
No tab targeting.
No tab targeting. There's no, it's all whatever your cursor's pointing at is what you're going to heal or hit.
I thought I read somewhere that they kind of have a, if you're close enough, you'll hit it.
Well, yeah.
It was an option, I guess. I don't
know. Big just said that there was no NDA for the weekend, and Greer said they had a pretty long talk about it on
Their media, though.
On Game Breaker this week. But, I mean... Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, we're streaming the next one then.
Yeah.
But, okay. Well, then, cool. Well, the level cap was 30. And I think most of the players in the guild were able to at least make 20.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they were.
The dungeon, I did the first dungeon. I didn't do the second one because we didn't have enough players. You had to be 25 to get into the second dungeon. We didn't have enough guys
I did the first
to do
dungeon. It was awesome.
First dungeon was pretty fun.
Is it 5-man groups?
5-man group, and it's forced 5-man. You couldn't go in with any less. I mean, if you try it, you just queue with your group. It automatically looks for people to put in. We did have some issues of getting everyone in, and we had to do some relogging and stuff for a different connection, but we finally got it. I was thinking the Guild Wars thing. Remember, we used to all zone into 5 different instances, then 2 different instances, and 3. It was sort of like that, but it took about 10 minutes, and I think we were all set. We ran in, destroyed it. It was not that hard at all. Now, it's level capped at 20 as well, so you can get in at 14, I think. I think it was a level 15. You can get in at 14 to 20, and then you can't go back in again. But it was 2 bosses, not too hard. The trash was pretty easy. Now, we went in. There's no enforced Trinity, but there is a Trinity in the game, and I have to say that is one of the things I did like going in there. When I went in, I actually went in and did it on my priest, not on the warrior, the tank warrior I was playing, and it was fine. But we ended up going in when we queued and went in. It doesn't force a Trinity either, because we queued with 1 rogue and 3 priests, or 3 clerics, and picked up another rogue.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe when you get to the upper levels, it'll be more important that you go in with a Trinity or something. But it was, healing was not an issue. Everyone stayed alive. It was pretty easy when you've got 3 healers in there. We were doing enough damage. It was fun. I think, like I said, with it felt like it was really fast.
Do the clerics do damage?
Oh yeah, that's how they heal.
Yeah, clerics can do. Yeah, you can do damage, and you can heal with it as well. And then depending on how you spec your points and your feats and stuff, you can do more. So it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I had a blast. I think everyone I talked to, I think who played the beta, said they're gonna play the game. So now my only concern with it right now is what is there to do in the end.
Yeah, that's what Kex and I were talking about earlier.
The foundry, I think.
I think that's what it is.
That's the end
and
game.
One of the things I was reading today is that the foundry, again, depending on the tools that they give you in the foundry, and I did a couple of player-made, I guess they're developer-made quests through the foundry that were available, but they were written as players. I mean, it wasn't part of the dev team. Like a developer sat down and just made some quests up and threw them in there. And they were actually pretty good. They scaled. Like I picked them up at level 9 and I got around to doing it at like level 16. And when I went in there, the mobs were 16. I did another one when I was 19. The mobs were 19. So it scaled to whatever level I was at.
Big just said that he read something today that there might be a possibility of 10-man raid contents.
Well,
which I could see them doing that. I really could, because the dungeons are, I mean, it was simple, but I'm sure they could beef that up and make it harder anyways. Yeah. So they had a pretty well, I mean, the bosses themselves didn't seem super buggy or anything. So
no, not at all.
I think they have pretty good.
I think the biggest issues we had were people was zoning into instances.
Yeah, that part was.
I think it was it.
Yeah, we didn't have when we went. We didn't have any issues with that, so we just got lucky. So
what else do you have? You had some more stuff on this, Harper, right?
Pardon me?
On Neverwinter.
What about it?
Didn't you have some more stuff you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, basically, kind of what you were saying. You pretty much reiterated what I had down. It's a good game, a good solid client. I did have a few crashing sessions when I was zoning. But that was really it. I didn't have a lot of lag. I didn't I rubber banded maybe 1 or 2 times. So it wasn't too bad. It was very solid. I don't know. I like the quest and the way they lead you around. And
well, I love the other system I liked that it was really enjoyable was the companion system.
Oh yeah.
We were able when we went into the instance, and when I went in, I would think I was the only one. I was above 16 at the time. When you go into an instance, a 5-man instance, and you have your companion stays with you. They come in too. So, a 5-man instance, you can go in. If you're above level 16 and you've got your companion, it actually becomes, you've got 10 people, or 10, you have 5 players and 5 NPCs, and they're helping you. And I did a lot on my warrior and leveled, my mage companion was up to like level 16, almost level 17. And I told Big the same. And I was a tank. Not fully tanked. I had spec'd some damage so I could get through stuff faster. But my mage started pulling aggro off of me. And you don't control him. I mean, you're not. It's not like the old games where you're controlling him. He's there. He supports you. The mage does damage. That's what he does. And usually he tries to target whatever you're hitting. But I found a bunch of times where I was having to taunt and retaunt to keep things on me because the mage was just beating the crap out of him. So.
Well, skimming over some of the articles off of MMO. I was reading. Do they have a world, or is there everything like?
Yeah, it's basically instance zones because it's right now everything's taking place in the Neverwinter city or the one zone right outside the city or the graveyard's part of the city, one zone outside the city. So it's kind of instanced, and people were asking about that, trying to find out, well, is it going to be open world or is it all these instance things? Now, when you're in an instance part of the city, all the players in the city are there. You're in that zone. So if you're in the Cloak Tower zone, you'll see everyone who's there. If you're in the graveyard, you'll see everyone who's there. But you can't ride your horse from the graveyard through by the tower, through the orc area, into the city, straight through. You're going to go to the gate and zone into the next zone, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it pulls up a map and then you pick where you're zoning to.
Yeah, it did not feel like open world. It's not Rift.
Right.
It wasn't Rift. It wasn't that huge, gigantic open world you just ride from, or even, well, no, Guild Wars has zoning, right, as well, right? A load screen.
Oh, yeah, they got load screens between the zones. But, I mean, they have a...
It's not, okay, so basically it's not Rift. It's not Rift or WoW, right, where you've got the big, gigantic world and you can just go. Yeah,
it reminded me of a combination of Warhammer, Lord of the Rings Online, because of the lore book. There is the lore book. I don't know if y'all played that and know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but that was really cool to see that again because that was neat for your achievements and accomplishments. It also reminded me a little bit of Aeon. My husband said the graphics looked more like Lord of the Rings Online just because they're...
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that
which is
too.
not a bad thing. And that's not... Because even as old as that game is, the graphics still look pretty damn good. So,
one of the things I mean, the WoW stuff is pretty good when it doesn't get too extravagant. My favorite armor to this point is still Rift because of the realism. It looks, chainmail looks like chainmail. Plate looks like plate. It looks like wearable. It's not all that.
It's still horrible.
It's not a rogue going into stealth with 3-foot spikes coming out of my shoulders, which are But I mean, it looks good. And with this one, it was I thought it was going to be kind of bland. Hey, we started out, and the first 10 levels or 15 levels, I'm like, holy crap, my armor looks like crap. Well, I guess it looks like, I'm the newbie warrior running around, and this is all I can afford.
Yeah.
And my armor looks like crap. And then, but when I got to 30, I had the silver shiny armor with bronze or whatever gold color. It started to look better, but it wasn't that much different in design. And I know one of the other big complaints people had as well were weapons.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of people didn't like the cleric
had
weapon.
one weapon you could use. The fighter had one weapon. It was always a sword. That's what you used. The rogues had dagger. I think they got an axe sometime in the game, and then they out-leveled it, and they just had dagger. I mean, there was like no variety at all in weapons.
Do your skills change with the different weapons?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Spells and abilities, so that was good. So how about Tempest this week? I'm going to go ahead and flip to awards.
All right. There's no prompt, right?
No.
All right. Greer Risque and I earned the 18-month longevity awards this week.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah. Congrats, definitely. It's awesome. I love seeing. I'd like to see lots of people hit 18 months.
Yep, for sure. Renee and Bonanza completed all their jumping puzzles, getting the Jump Master titles or awards, and then Bonanza also completed his world completion this week. And of course, Locked is the first legendary crafter in the guild. So congrats, everybody.
Wow, that's so awesome. Yep.
Awesome. And then going back here, how about tip of the week?
My tip of the week is about your pets in Neverwinter Online. You do actually have to train them. So just like Scriv was saying, if you open their little thing, and you can also put glyphs and like rings and jewelry and all that stuff on them as well.
It depends on what it is. I was talking to Big last night about this, and it looks like when I go to the mage or my wizard companion, he has the 3 rune slots you can do, and you can rune. That's enchanting basically. They have like enchanting or rune slots that they have. But the 3 pieces of gear my mage or wizard could wear were neck ring, and I think he said his cleric or something or warrior was like belt, neck, ring. So there are different slots for the thing. It just has to be appropriate for the class. So, I mean, I was able to also put stuff in there for my wizard that I was looting at level 30, even though he was level 16. I was able to throw a level 29, 30 amulet or neck piece in there because I could wear it. He was able to use it. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, so
bumping
make
the
sure
stats
you,
up.
you train them every so often. You can actually pay. Remember in SWTOR how you could send your pets out to train or do harvest for you, go on missions? Well, you can send your pets out to train if you do it the standard way, which doesn't cost, I don't think, very or hardly any gold or silver, whatever. You can send them off and it takes like an hour. If you
It
do the
costs
Swift
gems.
training, then it costs astral diamonds, but you get them back pretty quick. So they don't even leave you, I don't think.
No.
So
You can finish it. And you can do that later, too.
Let's
Yeah.
ask
Halfway through
you,
your training
this
if you
game
win
is
it.
going to be free to play, right?
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
So did you see any kind of cash shop in the game?
You can't see it
Nothing-
yet, but there will
you
be
can't see
because
it
it'll
yet.
be the
You'll
the
be able
Zen.
to buy more companion slots, and it's like Guild Wars 2. There's the conversion, so you can buy the Perfect World is the company that's running it over Cryptic, and you can buy Zen from them, which is like buying gems, and then you go to the in-game store and you can trade the Zen for diamonds on some conversion rate.
Okay.
So it's that roundabout 3 currencies, basically getting the gaming company is getting your cash for in-game currency. You just got to do some work for it, and you're going to go with market value. It's not a straight trade. It's going to be market value kind of thing.
Right. Cool.
And which is interesting because they had this awesome mount in the game. And for Dungeons and Dragons fans, they'll know what a nightmare is. It's the flaming horse. It's like the warlock mount, kind of like from WoW, but a little more flashy. And but it was there in the game, and of course you're sitting looking, okay, wow, what do I have to do to buy that? And it costs like 2 million something astral gems. It's like, yeah.
Dang.
And so I can earn how many? You can earn so many a day. So I can, get this thing in like 5 or 6 months, or I could probably pop down $20-30 and do the conversion or figure it out and get the mount. Mount doesn't give you any advantage. You can't fight on the mount. It's just moving inside zones. So
Yeah,
so far it
it is an
looks
instant
cosmetic,
mount,
so.
though. You don't have to cast it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. And how about you, Dimos? Tip of the week.
I just wanted to remind people if they haven't seen it or heard about it, we're planning on doing a little meetup in Firefall this weekend. If you don't know what Firefall is, it's a sci-fi third-person MMO shooter. Like Lex mentioned in his post today, the game feels a lot like if Unreal Tournament was an MMO, but it's got a large,
nice.
persistent, community-driven world. It's pretty beast. Although the game is still in beta, it's an amazing amount. It has an amazing amount of polish already, and for $20 you can have unlimited access, and there's no character wipe at launch. So
Okay.
if you're interested, definitely show up.
Cool. My tip comes from Neverwinter. There are nodes throughout the game which players can loot, and basically the crafting nodes or the nodes research. You can also get potions and runes and enchants and glyphs and stuff out of these things to get, but they're set up for each different class. So there are dungeon, nature, religious, arcane, and like a thievery thing. And so instead of just saying only thieves can do that, you can purchase for actually I think it's like 6 copper, very cheap, tools or potions or dust from each of those different classes. And so you can actually gather every node that there is. What you do is you use this 6 copper buff real quick, and it buffs you for 3 minutes, giving you the ability to open thieves' caches or open arcane things that only wizards would be able to do. So you can gather every single node for a little bit of money. So it isn't going to be limited crafting. You actually can gather all of those things. And it's pretty inexpensive when you get to the game, when you really start getting into the crafting probably. So any last thoughts or anything this week? Hopefully I'll be back next week. We'll see my internet gets hooked up on Saturday again.
yeah.
Otherwise, Harper and Diemos will be doing this audio. Unless Diemos has it. He could set it up. He could do the split screen video. Or actually, Harper's not on video, so Diemos can just put himself up there. And you can just look at Diemos
See
the
my
whole time.
beautiful face.
The whole
That's
time.
right.
For next week if I'm not there. So,
No,
right, well,
seriously, dude. You be safe with your move and whatnot.
well,
man.
thanks.
Yeah,
Well,
good
thanks.
luck with that. And thanks for being a trooper and doing this tonight while, you need to be packing and stuff. So we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank your
Laundry,
wife for allowing you
dishes,
to
all
do
those
it.
things.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone else have
All
a
right.
good week. And thank you guys for listening and being a part of the chat room and all that stuff. So we really appreciate it.
Yep, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight. You can leave any feedback on our website, tempestgamecast.com. You can send an email to tempestgamecast@gmail.com. And you can follow us on Twitter @tempestgamecast. If you're interested in joining the Tempest Gaming Community, you can visit us at tempestguild.us. Recruiting videos and other videos in this show are now all hosted on our YouTube channel, Tempest Game Community. We hope you guys have a great week gaming, and we look forward to seeing you playing the game of your choice. Have a great week.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Later.
See